Welcome to Let's Talk About. You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this channel are of the host and not of Lady J Media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What Up Baltimore TV. And if you really don't want to miss any of the shows, hit that notification bell and you'll get a message every time we come on. Now, we got it from here, so sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Lady J, and I have a special guest with me all the way from London. I'm not joking. She's all the way from London, United Kingdom. I have her on. Her name is Esther Austin. And listen, if you I know it's lunchtime because here, Esther, it's only what time is it? 12:20 in the afternoon. So
okay.
I know, what time is it where you are?
It's 5:20, so we're 5 hours ahead of yourselves.
Yeah, so I know some people here, on the East Coast are on their lunch break, and they'll get a chance to watch later. But guys, make sure you share the video. This is going to be a really fun interview.
Absolutely.
So let's get to know Esther. Let's get to know what she's doing. So Esther, first of all, welcome to What Up Baltimore.
Thank you.
And I want to also give a shout out to Gemini Burke. I want to give a shout out to Gemini Burke because he is the one who connected us. And so thank you, Gemini. Gemini has given me a lot of connections, through some of his friends for me to interview. So thank you, Gemini, for that. So Esther, tell us a little bit about you and who you are.
Okay, I hope you can see me, okay, because it looks a little dark. But I guess that's only because I'm wearing glasses that it's a fashion statement, so I can't see anything through it. So everything looks dark.
Fashion statement as well that I
have. So I'm going to pretend because I'm looking a little dark here. But anyway, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's a real pleasure. It feels really different to be on the other side. And it's nice to be on the other side sometimes as well. So thank you, Charlene. Is it Charlene? No, it's Dr. Lady J. Sorry.
My government name is Charlene, so that's fine.
Okay. Okay. And like you said, thank you also to Gemini Burke for recommending that we connect with each other. So I guess, who am I? I usually say that I am an eclectic, creative, universal soul. And I'm down here with a purpose. And with that purpose, I've been gifted to create different pathways to deliver a message. And I guess my message is simply to inspire, to empower, to support others into their greatness, as Les Brown says, or to find that magic within themselves, to unravel the pieces of themselves so that they can put the building blocks back together, tidier, neater, sometimes better, and with all that healing done, so that they can just go out and enjoy life and be free.
Wow. So are you a life coach?
I am many things. So part of what I do, yes, I'm a life coach or an intuitive life coach. And so I do a lot of intuitive work. I do a lot of coaching work in that realm. And then also I am also the CEO of a lifestyle magazine, a luxury lifestyle magazine called Turning Point Your Lifestyle. Excuse me. And then I'm also an international talk show host, amongst other things.
Wow. So you now where can we see the talk show? Is it on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, at the moment it's on YouTube. Then the audio is going to be evolving onto a bigger platform from September. So I'm going to be doing an announcement soon about that. So on YouTube, it's Esther Austin Global. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. So it's Esther Austin Global. That's how we can go and watch it.
Yeah, so the show itself is called On the Sofa with Esther, but it's on YouTube. It's on the Esther Austin Global because that's like my main umbrella for everything that I do.
Oh wow, that's cool. So what's the show about?
The show is I interview legends and pioneers from the entertainment world. That's one aspect, and they often share never before told stories. So it's a place where artists can come and just go and just relax and just be, and in that space then they tend to share things that they've never shared before often, and a lot of them have been in the industry for a long time, and sometimes they just, quite a few times people have cried and people are like, what's wrong with you? You always make people cry. It's only because they feel they can be they're really relaxed and they feel that they can be authentic in that space, which is important.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then and we have lots of laughter and fun on that. And then the other type of podcast that I do is a little bit more serious, but we still have fun. It's called On the Sofa with Esther, Men Supporting Men. And this particular podcast is specifically for Black men, where they come on and they share authentically and their vulnerability. And the ethos of the show is to show men that it's to encourage, I should say, and inspire men to communicate, to learn to communicate, to understand the importance of communicating and expressing, not just in terms of who they are dealing with, but also for themselves. Um, and it's been that's an incredibly powerful show.
Wow. Because over here, I don't know how it excuse me, I don't know how it is over in London, but
Mhm.
over here, black men really have a hard way to go. It's they still have that label over them. It doesn't matter what they're doing, how
Mhm.
educated they are, it's still that label and that stigma over them. Do you find the same thing over in London?
Okay, what sort of label and stigma is it in the States? And then I can sort of maybe compare.
Over here, I'll use my son for an example. My son has long dreadlocks. He keeps them really nice.
Mm.
Uh, Tattoos, of course, because he's 27. And but he has two degrees. He's an athletic director, doing really well, but he's labeled because of the way that he looks.
Okay,
So
okay, yeah.
he and he's dark skinned.
Mm.
So it's easy for an officer to pull him over, and label him because of his sports car and his hair and his, you
Wow.
know, that this young man may not be involved in any type of, nefarious activity.
Mm.
You know? And that's what a lot of our men have to deal with
Yeah,
over here. You
yeah.
know, you're I don't want to say picked on, but maybe I can say picked on or, pulled out because
Stigmatized as well. Yeah. Yes, to a certain degree that happens over here, and maybe not as much, I would say, as in the States.
mm,
And it's interesting because there's a group from Baltimore, Rough Ends, and they were in London a few weeks ago, and I met up with one of them, and he was talking about just being able to walk the streets as a black man,
yes.
and not having to look over his shoulder. He goes, I grew up with this stuff. And so over here, they do experience certain things, but it's not as intense as in the States. But it happens over here as well, because I've got two big men now. And when they were growing up, I experienced quite a few things with them. And I knew, and it's because of how the police stereotypes as well.
Right. Right.
And so that's why these types of shows that I do, it's important for me, because if you can give them some sort of grounding, some excuse me, some sort of place where they can go to when stuff happens. Because I remember many years ago when they were in their teens and something happened. It wasn't with the police, but it was another group of men who attacked them, and they were angry when they came because they were supposed to have traveled and they didn't get to travel because they were attacked. They stole their bags, they stole their passports, and there was about four of them that were traveling this time. And then when they came back home, they were so angry, and I just kept on saying, just go, try to release it, try to work through this, because I know what happens when it's bottled up. But also, it was about giving them tools to manage as best as they could, because I know it's a constant and a constant thing, but to
Mhm.
manage as best as they could to transmute that anger.
Right, right. Because I don't know what it feels like because I'm not a black male, but I just see so many men going through that over here.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like you said, they really do have to look over their shoulders, or if they're pulled over, they could be taking their license, their wallet out of their pocket to show their driver's license, but so it's been mistaken, they're reaching for a gun, so they got
Yes,
shot. So
yes, yeah.
it's really hard. But I was saying all of that to say that this group that you have, is such an important group, and such those topics that those men are having. Like, men need that kind of group, because I don't know if men really release like we do as women.
Mm-hmm.
We can like the other day I had just mentioned you, we were on the phone just going back and forth, we were releasing and talking. I
Yeah.
don't know if men really do that. I think it takes them a while to do that.
It takes them a while also because of what they've been taught. A lot of them say in terms of what society tells you to be, and even growing up in especially like in a West Indian household or certain households, men don't cry, men don't do this, men don't do that, and therefore then it means that a lot of them, even though they may want to express, they don't, because of the stigma of a man expressing, and then even to cry, so a lot of them have bottled up their emotions. So oftentimes when they're given the permission and they're in a space that's safe, where they can be vulnerable and not laughed at, and also to understand that vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Because
Exactly.
when you go down and when you expose yourself, the only way is to start to put the building blocks back together of yourself differently and stronger. Um, and but also what's really good is that there are a lot of shows, there are a lot of men who are actually speaking out about the importance of expressing and sharing, especially after, was it DJ Twitch?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially after that, I noticed that was the catapult to a lot of people coming up and saying we're tired of holding this in.
Yeah. And I think they're at this point in time, I do think that men, like this newer generation, they're starting to wake up and understand that it's okay. Plus, they have social media, um, that it's okay to express yourself and say, "This is how I feel." I don't know if you are. Well, I'm pretty sure you did.
Mm.
Saw the what happened in Alabama, that big brawl that happened in Alabama. Did you see that? I mean, I had to think about it, because I know it's like worldwide.
No, I saw it. I saw it. I've seen all the memes and I've seen all the
Yeah,
other videos. I've had a good laugh about that. But yes, I saw the actual video.
yeah. My dad, my dad is from Alabama, born and raised in Alabama. And Alabama is just, to me, it's a totally different world. Like, parts of it, especially where he
Mm.
was born and raised, it's different, because I'm up north. I'm in Baltimore, and some of
Okay.
the things that happen there would
Mm.
never take place in Baltimore. Like, it just wouldn't.
Mm.
It would definitely be a problem if you even thought about doing some of the things that they do. So when I saw that happening, was really, I was kind of glad that they finally just woke up and took a stand and kind of handled
Mhm.
it, because down south you don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
But what was when you saw that? What were your thoughts when you saw that going on?
It was interesting for me because what I saw, and especially living overseas, and just in terms of watching the whole situation of the confrontation, and the black guys, it's almost like saying enough is enough.
Right.
And sometimes you can watch these clips of something that's happened and get caught up in it,
Mhm.
and you realize something's happened before that to create that. So I sort of did a 360-degree view of all the different segments of what actually happened. And it was really, I don't know, there was something that coursed through me in terms of it's about time, but then also what because I sort of pull things apart even deeper. It got me thinking about all, people throughout the world who are being disenfranchised, people throughout the world who are being stigmatized, who are being stereotyped, who are being put upon, set upon, picked upon. And this seems to be the season where people are now making a stand,
Mhm.
because you've got child sex trafficking, you've got so many things that are happening.
Right.
And so this for me was quite symbolic in terms of, it's about also not just making a stand, but
Mhm. Mhm.
standing together. And then we can take that format of standing together into so many different arenas of our lives, the world, in order to make a stand, in order to make a change. And it was so good just watching. It was like watching a superhero movie. You
Yeah.
saw the guy skipping down. I was like, okay, let's get some popcorn, shall we? It was a popcorn moment, wasn't it? But the reality was, people are tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
felt that it's almost like we're tired. And so we're
Mhm.
not going to just sit back and take and accept, but we are
Yeah.
going to take action. And hopefully now that model, or whatever you call it, can be used in other instances of life. It doesn't necessarily need to be violent or a fight, but in terms of just coming together and say, we are going to make a stand, because there's
Mhm.
so many things happening out there that we need to make a stand for.
Right.
Um, and I was watching, I know Stephanie Mills says that she wants to do um, a free concert to raise funds for those who might need legal help. And it's
Right.
just nice how everybody, it was just like a moment in history. That's what it felt like. And that's what it's, what it felt like when you watch other people comment.
Right. And my understanding is that where they were, that 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 area was where they had brought a lot of the slaves over,
Oh,
on ships. And so people were saying, the ancestors were speaking
mm,
because a lot of them, that's where they were brought over from
mm,
Africa. So for me, I don't condone the violence in any way,
mm,
but I'm like you. I felt like people were just tired, and I think what everybody has to understand too is that this is a different generation. So,
mhm.
my son's generation, they're not going to stand around and just let you beat on them.
Yeah.
They're not going to march. They're not going to protest. They're going to fight. And that's the way. And whatever the consequences are,
There's,
because of that, they're going to take it.
yeah.
But to me, when I watched it, Esther, it was just so many. I hate to use the word funny, but it was just so many funny moments. And
Yeah.
it wasn't meant to be funny, but like the way he threw his hat up in the air,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
wasn't funny, but it was just the way that he did it, like, just throwing the hat and the
I'm
young,
ready for you. I've been
yeah,
ready for you. Let's go. Yeah.
it was just, I watched that over and over. Who was on the boat, and he
Aquaman.
jumped into
Aquaman.
the water, and he started swimming and swimming. He over and he pulled his pants up real good and fixed his shirt, and then he goes into action. It was just so, like, so many moments. But then for me,
Mm,
when I looked at it, I'm thinking, you can see that people are tired, and they're saying, no, we're not going to do this anymore, because
mm,
it was a situation that really didn't need to happen. The man was doing his job, so
mm.
it didn't need to happen. But I think, and this is all over the world, people are just tired, and they're not going to put up with certain things anymore. So, for me, it was kind of a happy moment for me, for them,
Mm.
because I've been down south, and the it the climate, it's just, when I was there, every time I would go there, I would tell my parents, like, I can't stay here long because I'm going to get in trouble, you know.
Yeah, you open your mouth, or
Yeah,
yeah, do
yeah,
something.
yeah. I'm going to get in trouble because I'm not. There's just certain things I'm not accustomed to, from living here. Uh,
Mm.
I'm just not accustomed to it. So, I was glad when they moved and they came back this way, but it's definitely a different climate. And I often wondered, like, even where you are, um, like, what is it like for a Black woman, or we talked about the Black man, but what is it like for a Black woman to live where you are?
I mean, for me personally, I've had experiences as a Black, sort of white on Black, Black on Black. I've had lots of different experiences.
Mhm.
Um, but there is still institutionalized racism that we are fighting over here. And even last week, Friday, when I was at an event promoting my magazine, there's a sort of big campaign going around in terms of the amount of women who lose their children or die, Black women in childbirth, because they're not given the same types of care as their white counterparts. So there's lots
Wow.
of different pockets of things that people are still fighting for in terms of racism. For me personally, like I said, I've experienced things from lots of different angles, whether it's racism or whether it's from your own. I mean, that's it's. But in terms of what you've asked, um, there's a lot of things going on in the background to raise the awareness of. So even in terms of jobs, even in terms of, as you say, what's one that's happening at the moment? In terms of the Windrush as well, the Windrush generation.
Yeah.
So things are happening slowly because people are, like I said, tired over here, and so they're getting together. And it's nice when you see lawyers and solicitors that are coming together to champion the causes. So there's, and like you said, there's lots that's happening on a global level.
Yeah.
People are just tired globally
Hmm.
of being beaten down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
you said, with this generation, I feel with this generation, I think, yes, sometimes they will fight, but I feel they've also got the vocal acumen to speak and just walk away, and they're not going to entertain.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I do that a lot over here, where they, like you said, they're going to tell you what it is, and they're going to walk off. Like,
Absolutely.
I said what I said. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
actually, because I grew up that way. I grew up in the era where you keep quiet and you hold everything in, which is not good, because you
Mhm.
out of that pain and that hurt, because you don't release it anywhere. But
Yeah.
I think that they release and they move on. They're not going to hold all of this stuff in.
Mhm.
You're going to get it and you're going to feel it. And that's the way it is. Now, were you born over in London?
Yes, I was. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my
Wow.
parents are from Barbados in the Caribbean. But I was born in London.
Oh, okay, okay. That's when I had places to visit on my list, and then like international.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've done a lot of the states, but I wanted to start doing the international travel, and then the pandemic happened, so it kind of put a lid on that. But London is one of the places I definitely want to come and
Well, let
visit.
me know. Let me know. And there's loads of different places that I will happily show you around. You'd have a good time because
Yeah.
London is a very sort of eclectic city. There's so much that's constantly happening. It's a bit like New York. It feels like New York, that
Oh,
busyness. But there's always something different to do. And it's a nice, diverse sort of cultural hub up of different cultures as well. So, yeah,
okay.
just
Well,
let me know.
now
Call me.
when are you coming to the States? When will you be here?
So I'm going to be doing a US tour in the fall. And so I'm going to be in Vegas starting on the 24th, because I'm going to be honored for an award for my services to media and publishing on the 24th. And then I'm going to be doing my own meet and greet on the 26th or the 27th. I think it's the 27th. And that's going to be around afternoon tea because, us British like our afternoon teas, darling. Yes. And then I'm going to head up to LA where there's a private meet and greet
Okay.
that's been organized. And then I head over to Atlanta. So, and New York may be on the list. I'm just trying to organize that at the moment, but I'm mega excited.
I hope you come to New York, because it's closer and easier for me to get to New York. I can get to Atlanta, but New York is only I think it would take me like 3 hours, on the train. And I go to
Okay.
New York quite a bit. So I just hop on the train and go up there. Sometimes just hang out for the day. But um, do come to New York, so I can really get a chance to meet you. But even in Atlanta, like, I'm thinking, let me know what the Atlanta dates are.
I
Um,
will do. It's the 13th of October is the Atlanta date.
oh,
And it's going to be at the Bookstore Gallery, 461 Nelson Street. So I'm looking forward to that. And the beauty of that, I've got some really great people. Some of the artists that I've interviewed will be coming to support me. So I'm mega excited about that.
okay. And how long are you going to be in Atlanta?
Um, Maybe a couple of weeks. It's quite up
Oh,
and down at the moment because I'm quite fluid, but I'm going to have the meet and greet. And then I'm working on New York, but then I will be going back to Atlanta. So I'll probably be there till the end of October.
oh, okay, cool. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to have to look at my schedule because
Okay.
I have a lot of friends in Atlanta, so it's not, a problem for me to get there.
Mm,
It's, like the train, I could jump on the train and get there. Well, Atlanta is on a flight. It's about an hour. I want to say maybe an hour and 10 or minutes, something like that, from Baltimore. If I take a flight there, so we'll see. We'll talk. We'll talk about it. But yeah, definitely
absolutely.
meet up with you and sit down and talk to you in person. Now, how can people reach out to you and follow you?
Okay, so I've got my website, which is www.esteraustinglobal.biz. And then you can go on to the socials, Esther Austin Global or Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing magazine, or Turning Point magazine.
Okay, and tell us the YouTube channel again.
Also, for the YouTube channel, it's Esther Austin Global, and the show is called On the Sofa with Esther.
Okay, that out. I definitely have to check that out. Well, Esther, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been
Thank
so much
you.
fun.
Time has gone already. Gosh,
Yeah,
I was just about to lean back and grab a cup of coffee. Look, I told you.
my goodness. Yeah, this has been so much fun. And it's just a joy to talk to you because when I first spoke with you, like I had known you forever.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, it was just a pleasure to talk to you. And we definitely have to do this again.
Most definitely.
What
Most.
I forgot the time difference though. I would love to have you on. I do a show on Mondays at
Mhm.
8 p.m. my time. That would be super late for you. And it's 7 p.m. on Thursdays. And I
Um,
actually talk to men who were incarcerated. And we also have men call in that are still incarcerated. And
wow.
I would love to have you on to just, talk to them because you're actually doing a show with men.
Yes.
And it's really interesting. Like the guy that I had on last night, he had been locked up for 24 years, and um, he went in at 18. He came out at 42. And it was just interesting, hearing his story. He's been out for a year and he's doing so many great things right now. But I always try to bring people on to just encourage them, to talk to them.
That would
And
that'd be a
yeah,
real pleasure. That would be a pleasure.
yeah,
Because I can imagine it's not just coming out, but they have to try to integrate back into the world, and everything's different and new,
right,
and
right.
you know,
Hmm.
yeah.
And
Well,
that's what
I'm
we
hoping.
last night, because one of the people I was telling him, we took them out to eat, and we were just there looking at the menu. We're ordering and talking and laughing, and this person just actually got up and walked away. And when I went over to find out what was wrong, they said they were just overwhelmed. They had only been out like 4 months, and just looking at a menu was
Mhm.
overwhelming to them because they don't have choices like that.
Yes,
And this person had been incarcerated for about 40 years.
four
So
zero.
40, yeah, yeah. So, and had only been out for a few months and was just overwhelmed with everything. The
Mm,
what would you like? We got this, we got that, and for them, everything is going real fast. And for us, we're just relaxing. We're good. And
mm.
it's a lot of things that I'm learning just from talking to them on Mondays and Thursdays. And I'm really trying to get people those of us who are out to understand what we need to do to support them.
Support
And
them, absolutely.
basically, it's moving a little bit slower. Checking in, making sure that they're good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would definitely. We have to set that up. I would love to have you on.
That would be a real pleasure. And if you don't mind me coming on with my donkey face at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Listen, I'm sure. Um,
I'll just put on a bit of lipstick and but no, aside from that, sorry, that would be a real pleasure.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like I said, it's been nice connecting with you because I feel like I know you. It's just been fluid and organic, and yeah.
yeah.
So thank you so much for this. I've enjoyed this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll send you. I will give you enough time to get yourself together. So I'll just send you the dates and everything,
Uh-huh.
and maybe the 7 o'clock show, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It would be 12 over there. So
I'm gonna look like a donkey. It don't make no difference. Just send me just send me the time and I'll be ready.
I will make sure that I say Esther is in London. It's 12 or it's 1 a.m. over there in the morning. And
Yes.
but the show is really like it's really fun because we laugh, we joke, and the same as you do with the men, I do that with these men when they come on. I just want them to feel like we're sitting in my home and we're just laughing,
Absolutely.
talking, and we got a few friends around. So
Absolutely. So if I
I
show
would
up in my onesie or pajamas, you'll be fine. Yeah, just put some earrings
good.
on,
Yeah,
bling it out. Yeah. Okay.
good. You'll be
Okay.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Absolutely. Well, Esther,
Excellent.
so much. I'll be in touch with you because I want to make sure I find out about those Atlanta dates. Um, and hopefully I
Yeah,
can.
it's definitely the 13th.
I
Definitely the
think,
13th of
yeah.
October at the Bookstore Gallery. I'm just putting the details up on my website and on an Eventbrite page. Then I'm going to post it on the socials. So it's the 26th, the 27th in Vegas, the 30th, which is a private event on 30th of September, then the 13th of October in Atlanta, and then I'm still working on the New York dates.
Okay, I think New York would love to have you. I really do. I
Yeah.
know that they would love to have New York.
I'm trying to see what I bring to New York because New York is a slightly different beast to the others, and so I'm just trying to be a bit more specific in terms of what I bring. What I've got my Mary Poppins bag, but what is it that I bring to New York that they would want to receive? I can't just show it in my Mary Poppins bag and think, oh, I'll be received. So I'm just being a bit more studious in terms of in terms of
Yeah,
uh,
right. I get it. I get it. In New
yeah.
York, there's so much going on in New York. Like I don't know. Like they have some of everything going on, and then they got the different.
Mhm.
It's different stuff going on in different boroughs. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. You
Yeah.
just have to get that part out. Well, everybody, please do me a favor. Make sure that you share this video when you get a chance to watch it. I know a lot of you are at work right now, but when you get a chance later on, get your tea and whatever and sit back and watch Esther. She is all the way in London, everybody, United Kingdom. Did you do one more question? I gotta ask you, have you
Uh-huh.
had a chance to go to Buckingham Palace to do anything?
It's interesting how the Americans are so the Buckingham Palace. I mean, I've been asked, "Do you know the Queen?" No. I see her when she was alive. I saw her on TV, just like yourselves. I've passed Buckingham Palace quite a few times because when I'm heading into town, and I like to walk a lot, so I'll pass by. Um,
But it's a no, huh?
It's yeah. I mean, I sort of respect. I respect what the monarchy stands for and everything. I'm not
Right.
really into it, but I
Yeah.
respect it if that makes sense. But it's a stunning building, and it is worth going to view and to look at when you're over here.
Mhm.
As well as some others. Main monuments, but
Yeah.
But I know I haven't met the Queen though, because I get asked that a lot. Have you met the Queen? And you know, London is still a big place. The United Kingdom is still a big place, and meeting the Queen, you got to get past security. So unless I become the Invisible Man,
Yeah.
that's not really good. But
I
yeah,
guess it's over here with us, with the president, the White House, and all of that.
absolutely, yeah.
High security, and even now, like back in the day, you used to be able to just walk up to the fence and stand right there and look
Mm,
at the White House. Now it's all blocked off, so you can't even
yeah.
get. But yeah, I get that. But the one thing I want to see when I come over there is I really want to see the those soldiers with the big hats.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah. I'll take you. You just let me know when you're ready, and if I'm here, you know,
yeah,
put together
yeah.
an itinerary, and you will have a good time, and you will have fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Esther. Well, thank you so much again. I know it's getting late over there. I wish you well. I will definitely be in touch,
Thank
now that
you.
we have each other's number and information. So I'll definitely be in touch, and definitely want to meet up with you when you come to the US. I definitely want to meet. And
Definitely.
if you leave with us before you go.
But when I come, I want some grits. I'm into grits. I discovered grits about 4 years. You did say anything else? So I like
Oh,
my grits with a bit of butter and some pepper. Okay, but other than that, though, all I would say is, it's just keep, no matter what's gone on in your life, no matter what's happening in your life, just keep moving forward and find, have your Mary Poppins toolkit. What that means is, there's different modalities, there's different things that you can use if you're going through. Don't give up. Whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether it's exercise, whether you've got someone to talk to, find some place to go, because at this moment in time, people are really stressed
they
out
are.
there. People are very stressed and they are on the edge. And so if you are feeling that way, as Diana Ross said, reach out, reach
Yeah,
out, reach out. And also be honest with yourself, because learn to be honest with yourself, because then you can be honest and authentic with others. And that sets you free. It's not easy, but it's possible.
mhm.
And just lean into someone, lean into some place. Yeah.
Wow. I have to have you at my women's roundtable too. I'm going to be doing where I have women on the screen. Oh, and I'm going to be doing a women's roundtable because there's
Mm.
so many things to talk about, and some things that I think for people like us, it's easier because we're on the screen all the time to just
Mm.
say certain things that other women may feel uncomfortable talking about. So I have to
Mm.
let you know when I'm going to be doing that so you can come on.
That'd be prison. I think just one last thing. I think that for me, I'm comfortable doing this, not just because I'm on screen, but because I've been through so much in my life, and
Yeah.
I realize the importance of finding a place to deal with it,
Hmm.
finding a place to put it down,
Yeah.
so that we don't carry it, like a trophy. Um, yeah, been many places, but it's like when we do the healing around it, we can set ourselves free.
Right.
But
Right.
it's not always easy. And I keep saying that it's not always easy, but it's possible.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely been there and
Mm.
done, but it is possible to
Mhm.
move. It takes a lot of work. You got to be committed to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
the journey. If you're not, it's not going to work. But
Yeah.
definitely connect and talk about that. We definitely
Brilliant.
will. So, everybody, my name is Dr. Lady J. We've been talking to Esther Austin. She's the
All the
author,
way from London.
speaker. She just does everything. How about that? She does everything. And she'll be on tour soon in the US, and we're going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to try to connect with her. So make sure you share this video, reach out to Esther, go watch her show on YouTube, subscribe to her YouTube channel, all that good stuff. And Esther, thank you so much.
It's
And
been a
I will hear
blessing.
you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
I
Okay?
will do now after this. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Take care. Be blessed. Make sure you tell
Bye.
everybody All right, everybody. My internet went out. I don't know what happened. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. Take care.